The fifth episode of the show featured a wedding that ended in usually violent fashion, but the sixth episode completely blew viewers' heads. The first scene of the episode shows an older Princess Rhaenyra giving birth to Joffrey, her third child. A servant informs Rhaenyra that the queen, Alicent, wants to visit the newborn, which infuriates the princess and rightful successor to the Iron Throne. Lena, who appears to have been away for the majority of their marriage, eventually joins her in taking the infant to Alicent herself. Alicent, who appears to be worried, advises Rhaenyra to rest, but she refuses, and an overjoyed Viserys, who observes that the newborn has Lena's nose, prompting awkward glances from everyone in the room. Since the Daemon incident, when Rhaenyra told her friend she had been with her uncle, the two have continued to argue. The other son of the king's hand, Larys Strong, initially whispered the rumor to Alicent in the courtyard, and that falsehood pushed them closer together. Additionally, it appears that Rhaenyra and Sir Harwin, Strong's brother who saved her from the little riot, have become closer as a result of the wedding. Sir Criston Cole, the rioter, appears to have joined Team Hightower after Alicent prevented his attempted suicide in the courtyard. He is now her Kingsguard. So King's Landing has seen some changes. Even still, King Viserys appears unaware of all of this quarreling, and the notion going about the royal court that Rhaenyra's 3 children are bastards, not the children of Prince Leonor, but rather Sir Harwin. Like Joffrey Baratheon's hair in Game of Thrones, Rhaenyra's 3 children's different hair colors should be a hint of some shady royal dealings. This more than obvious truth poses a threat to irreparably rupture Rhaenyra and Alicent's relationship, since Alicent views Rhaenyra's marital decisions as an act of shame and rebellion that will further muddle the succession process. The children of both women appear to be engaged in a heated rivalry that seems to be an indication of this conflict. Alicent's 3 children by order of birth: Aegon, Helaena, Aemond. In the books, she also gives birth to Daeron, though we haven't met him yet in the series. Rhaenyra's 3 children: Joffrey's Valerian, Lucerys Valerian, and Joffrey Valerian. Alicent tries to impress upon her eldest, Aegon, that his life is not safe so long as Rhaenyra remains heir to the throne. Aegon is the king's firstborn son, and so could vie for the throne after the king's death. Alicent believes Rhaenyra will move against Aegon as soon as this occurs. Alicent, therefore, instills rivalry between Aegon and Joffrey, Rhaenyra's firstborn. The conflict between the two families plays out symbolically during a training exercise overseen by Cole, Team Hightower. Cole obviously favors the training of Alicent's children, having now become an enemy of Rhaenyra. Because she rejected his marriage proposal and because Cole is now a total jerk. Watching from the side is Sir Harwin, the father of Rhaenyra's children. He disapproves of Cole's training and encourages Joffrey's. Aegon and Joffrey spar despite being mismatched by size and age. Joffrey holds his own, possibly signaling the future balance of power shifting to Rhaenyra's children. Aegon then fights dirty and gains the upper hand before Harwin steps in. Cole then insinuates that Harwin is doing so because he is the boy's father, leading Harwin to beat the crap out of Cole, a dishonor given Cole's status as a member of the Kingsguard. The fight will have major consequences for both families immediately after. While Daemon has been having all white-haired girls with Lena Valerian, Rhaenyra has been having brunette males with Leonor. The family is residing outside of the 7 kingdoms, and it is hinted that Daemon has subsequently withdrawn from royal life and has not seized the opportunity to seize the throne while his brother is still alive. Lena is once again pregnant when the family is offered permanent residence in Pentos. In exchange, the family will provide military support to thwart the growing might of the Triarchy, which Daemon battled before in the Stepstones, who are now seeking to ally with Dorne. Daemon considers the option, wanting nothing to do with his former life in King's Landing. Lena, however, wants to return home and further the strength of the Valerian and Targaryen houses. Daemon has been up in his sad boy feelings, mostly sulking and reading, for the last 10 years. Things change, however, during the birth of their 3rd child. As with the former queen in the first episode, Lena is unable to give birth. Rather than die through C-section, and perhaps knowing she is a female character on a series that will likely brutalize her anyway, she commands her dragon to kill her and the unborn child. Daemon watches. After his son's assault on Cole, Lionel Strong attempts to resign his hand to the king. Viserys, however, won't have any of this, which angers Alicent, who also believes that Strong's judgment is no longer impartial. Viserys instead agrees that Strong escort his son back to their home, banishing him from King's Landing and Rhaenyra's side. Alicent doesn't think such a decision goes far enough and confides in Larys, telling him he wishes her own father could return and take the hand's place. Larry's, who is now a total slimeball, takes Alicent's words as a command and moves to rectify his own house's shame. Meanwhile, Rhaenyra, who senses that her reputation is at stake and her power diminishing, proposes that her eldest son marry Alicent's eldest daughter, a union she hopes will unite the family and amend her wrongs toward Alicent. Viserys is thrilled. Alicent is not. She knows Rhaenyra's children are not Valyrian, and she sees the proposition as exposing Rhaenyra's weakness. Knowing that Alicent will reject the offer, Rhaenyra then decides to leave King's Landing for Dragonstone with Lena and their children. She says an emotional goodbye to Sir Harwin before he leaves with his father back to his own stronghold. On the way home, however, Harwin and the King's Hand are stalked by cloaked figures who have been sent by Larys. The men set fire to Harwin's chambers, killing him in the Hand. Larys, having just murdered his brother and father, then seeks approval from Alicent, who is mortified to learn what has happened. With the Strongs gone and Rhaenyra in retreat, the Hightowers can now make a move. Until, of course, Daemon does whatever Daemon is likely to do.